Hello, this is a brief tutorial on how to get started with JMRI's Panel Pro. I will show you how to lay out a panel and add switches to it. The first thing you want to do is open up Panel Pro. And once it is open, select your railroad. By default, you'll have My JMRI Railroad, but I've created an example. When the window comes up, click on the menu behind, and a connection panel should pop up. Select the system that you're using. In this case, I'm using an NCE system. Select the device you're using to connect. In this case, I'm using a USB interface, and I'm using a USB port on my computer. You'll then want to hit Save and restart the program. Now that it's restarted, you'll want to enter in your switches. To do that, go up to the Tools menu, open Tables, and go to Routes. Under Routes, select Turnouts, and then go to Add and type in the address of your switches. I'm using an NCE switch 8, and my switches are programmed to the numbers 1 through 5, so I will enter those in the hardware address. Already, we can control the switches. If you click the unknown, the program will say the current state of the switch, and then if you click the buttons again, it will throw or close the switch. Now you've entered your switches, go back to the home page for Panel Pro, and under Panels, go to New Panel Layout Editor. This is the Layout Editor interface in edit mode. That is, to enter edit mode, you would select the first option under the Options drop-down on the top menu. At the top, we can add different sorts of switches and crossovers. In the middle, we can add tracks. To place a turnout, begin by typing in the address. In this case, JMRI added an NT before the number that is my address. My number 1 turnout is a right-hand turnout, so I'll select the right-hand box and then shift-click to place the turnout on my panel. Now that I've placed my turnout, I will need to rotate it. To do that, I will right-click and then go down to the Rotate option and type in 180 degrees. I could also do this when I initially place it by entering a rotation in the bar at the top. At this point, if you click the turnout, the icon will show it throw, and it will also throw on your railroad. Now we can go ahead and add our other turnouts. Again, type in your address and shift-click to place it on the railroad. Right-clicking on the center circle will allow you to drag the turnout and move it on the panel. Right-clicking on one of the endpoints will allow you to move the path of the track. Now that I've added my other turnouts, I need to add a left-hand crossover. To do so, I'll select left-hand crossover and enter in my first turnout loader number. As you can see, the additional turnout number box has been grayed out. So what I will do is I will shift-click to place and then right-click the crossover and go to Edit. In this menu, I can select to use 2 physical addresses and then choose the address of the other motor associated with my crossover. Now, when I throw the crossover, both switches will operate. Now that all the turnouts are in place, we can connect them with track segments. To do so, select track segment, and then while shift clicking, drag a line from one endpoint to another endpoint. Once you've reached the other endpoint, you can release and the line will be drawn. You can then right click and drag to move the endpoints. Now we can add other anchor points away from our turnouts so that we can show the track continues beyond them. I'm using M bumpers in this case because my tracks do not continue, but additional anchor points would also do the trick. I select my track segment tool and then shift click and drag to the anchor point to create my additional segment of track. Now that I've drawn out my railroad, I can work on customizing it. Under the Options menu, I can change my background color. Also under the Options menu, I can change the color that my track is displayed in, and I can change both the color of mainline track and secondary track. Under Turnout options, I can also select how my turnouts will appear when I put the railroad in view mode. I can choose to show the turnout circles so that I will know where to click to throw a turnout, and I can set the circle to a custom color. Now if I go into Options and exit Edit mode, I can see my finished panel. At this point it is fully operational, but I can always turn Edit mode back on to continue working on it. If you find your panel appears too small, you can also zoom in on it, or you can scale it up. At this point, the basic panel is for all intents and purposes completed. You can always go back later and make adjustments and refine it. I have only covered the basics in this video, but there are much more capabilities within Panel Pro. A helpful PDF that I found online will be linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and good luck.